when it comes to money, is there a sense of rationality that goes into play?
Can I say this? Where there is money factor in anything in life, who thinks straight? There's someone who's sitting somewhere in a street corner. I need to find a job. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put people on a life curve and I'll start killing them.
You're an expert in what you do.
I love
and
what
you're
I do.
good at what you do.
I love what I do.
And you seem to be very passionate on what you do.
I love what I do.
David, we looked at Cindy's, and Cindy's that were taking up, or that are taking up insurance policies,
Yes.
life policies, against their spouses, against their immediate families, their extended families, and even their friends. And within that, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's continuing.
Yes.
Where is our society going to?
Cindy, I would say, I would rather say to you, let's look at the marginalized people that we're talking about here today. Your security guards, your maids, your any other person that we don't see being a manager or anything like that.
Sure.
Out there in the industry. What do we say about them? Where do we put them in the periphery? Who decides for them? I mean, there's bodies, if you go anywhere, in the security industry, there's your pension funds and all those things. And who administers those things? Who does? Do these security guards themselves have a say about that? No, they don't. They tell them, this is what you need, this is what you need to have. And they go with it. The biggest problem is the society that we are so scared to confront the system. We are so scared to speak up to say, hey, this is wrong. Why do we have people with that are staying in Sandton talking to us and talking for us? Do they know who we are? Do they understand that I need to take a taxi every morning or walk every morning to my post? Wherever where I'm working at McDonald's or whatsoever, because I don't have money for transport. But you'll find somebody being a chairperson, being all those sort of things, deciding for me on my behalf. That's still a Rosemary case. That person that is deciding for me is earning more than what I'm earning, but is representing me. I mean, there's a lot of factors that you can look at in life. There's a whole lot of things that we can talk about. We can unpack to say, what do we do in this? I mean, the government said there's a 50-50 in marriage, isn't it?
Yes.
There's a 50-50, everybody's 50-50.
Yes.
Can we do 50-50, me and you? There's a Rosemary again right there. So now, the question is...
David, what if we can do 50-50?
You see, no, but you see, the question is, you need to look at life the way it is, and not the way other people, they will perceive it should be for you.
Sure.
Because the moment you do that, that's where we put ourselves in the Rosemary space. I would say to most people that they want to buy insurance, please buy it from a guy that you feel is fair. He's giving you proper advice for you to have a product, not to make money out of you. Because the moment you feel like this guy is pushing me, he wants, I mean, have you been in a car dealer, you just walked in, you leave your number, you were window shopping. Now you get receiving calls and calls and calls. Say, when are you coming back?
Yes,
I mean, there's a new car. There's this, there's that. Then you get tempted. Did you need the car? The answer would be no. But now you have it. because of you did what? You forced yourself to be pressured to buy something that you didn't need.
So you're saying that because of profit making, it's a profit making business, insurance. I mean, business is business, and through that, simply because people are supposed to be meeting targets.
Exactly.
In business.
Exactly, Cindy.
And so for you to be able to meet the target, I mean, you see even these call center agents that you get that sell life policies and insurance and stuff, that how many calls do you get a day?
Cindy, we have a Poppy Act in South Africa.
Yeah.
I don't think it's working, because of I still personally receive phone calls from insurance companies.
Yeah.
Where did they get my number? Because Poppy Act says I shouldn't have your information without you, knowledge or anything like that. Hence, I'm going back to say, if we want to cancel the Rosemary story, let's make sure that the Poppy Act is enforced correctly and in the right way. If I have to take something against Cindy, Cindy must know. Poppy Act must kick in to say, let's call Cindy.
That's very fine.
Cindy, Tapelo is doing XYZ. Tapelo is planning this. Tapelo is doing that. I mean, people are buying things fraudulently. Today you go to any shop that's got an account opening facility. They're getting robbed every day. Because the moment you refine your systems, guess what? Criminals, they study them, then they find something, a loophole. But a loophole that you cannot find is verifying Cindy. That's a loophole that you cannot find. It's a loophole that will never exist.
Because it has to go to Cindy herself.
It has to go to Cindy.
Yes,
And
yes.
there are certain things that Cindy knows about herself that nobody else knows. You understand what I'm saying? So now, the challenge is that we put ourselves in a space whereby Cindy doesn't exist, but the system exists.
Cindy doesn't exist,
But the system
does
exists.
exist. Yeah.
Because of that system, it's a system of saying we need to make money.
Yeah.
And then now I need to meet my target.
Yeah.
My job says I need to sell 300 policies in a month.
Yeah.
And if I don't come up with 300 policies in a month, what happens? Likely enough, I'm going to go back to the very same people that I signed them before, because somehow they trust me. And I say to them, listen, why don't you add your brother this time around, or your sister, or something like that. So we should have the system that stops that says no. If you want to do that, this person should talk to the brother, and the brother should know. Because the moment we allow the system to take over, then we cease to exist as human beings, because of, guess what? There's a system. The system says I need to make profit. And if I don't make profit, there's no money for me.
So it goes back to the issue of marginalization,
Yes.
Tapelo.
It is.
Doesn't it?
Exactly.
It goes back to the issue of marginalization. Because somebody has to fall for somebody to rise.
Exactly. I mean, Cindy, we all watch news in South Africa.
Yes.
What do we see? What is it that it's there that we're seeing that is beautiful? I mean, we just went into elections right now. For some of us that we voted for whatever political parties that we voted.
Not going to ask.
We don't ask. We voted for whatever political parties that we voted for.
I also told you, David, you decided to go left or right.
No. So
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
So now,
Yeah.
if you check, I mean, after the elections, what happened? People in Mpumalanga today, they've got load shedding. While in Gauteng, it's a system. It's at work.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I mean, yesterday I was calling somebody in Pumalanga. I said, no, we have a load shedding here.
No, I'm a busy load reduction. It's called load reduction.
What are they
David,
reducting?
I mean,
What are they?
is it tantamount to load shedding?
It is.
Huh? It's a masquerade.
I'm not saying I'm an expert of the grid.
The grid. When it falls, it
But
falls.
it's a system. If you check
Yeah.
this thing, it's a system. It's a system that it's there, and everybody that doesn't understand. I mean, imagine telling a security guard that you've got a benefit, and that benefit it's a medical aid. They were giving you a medical aid. This is how it works, and this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. The very same person that you will find at giving that person the information. If you mislead this person, what is that person going to do? He knows nothing about medical aid. He will use that medical aid in a wrong way, thinking that, you know what, this money is mine, I must eat it. No, it's yours. We understand it's your medical aid, but you must use it only when you are what? We are sick.
When you're not well, yeah.
What people use medical aid for?
Sick
Monday
note.
morning,
Sick note.
I didn't go to work, I go for sick note.
Sick note.
Rosemary, I
Sick note.
Now you look at it, even doctors, they are supporting another rosemary system.
It goes back to what I was asking you about society, David, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you are entangling a certain verb, or where I think insurance or any other a matter, for instance, that the verb of where the trajectory in terms of society and the moral fiber that does exist seems to be depleting.
Very much. And that's the problem. I mean, I was assisting a brother of mine, a friend, who gave me a statement after he resigned. They gave him a statement at work for policies and stuff. So mysteriously he saw 1.5 million. That is written there.
Okay.
He thought, if I resign, I'll get.
The 1.5 million. And then?
And he didn't understand that 1.5 was there for life assurance of him. But yeah, now, because of he didn't know how to read this thing and he didn't know how to understand. Now he's afraid. He's like, I just got 49,000. These people, there's a one point. I'm like, no. Read this thing. What is
I was
it saying?
supposed to get 1.5 million, David. And now I'm getting 49,000. But the statement is saying, you know.
For what? So now, the fiber of the morality of people that are marginalized out there in South Africa, it's a problem. People need to be given information. People need to know. People need to consume information.
So we're not empowered.
No. I believe that, hence I'm still saying even today that the cases of your Rosemarys, they'll continue. For those that have that information, they say, oh, I can take a life cover against Cindy. And Cindy is not working. Cindy is not doing this. I can be this. It will always happen. Fraud is something that it will always exist. But we always need to find ways of stopping it. More especially when it comes to the human life. I mean, who would want to lose their sister, their brother, because of the rands and cents that they could make?
Clearly people do not have conscience.
No, they don't.
Baba. Clearly people have lost the moral fiber, the consciousness.
They
in terms of what it really does mean. I mean, another person's life in David, in this country, really look at it. Sure, we've lost it somewhere.
We became animals that are living in concrete jungles. I mean, we are no longer thinking about the human life the way it's supposed to be. We're thinking about the human life as something to play with, something to just play around. I mean,
it's the commodity.
Imagine killing 6 people.
Yeah.
Just for life cover. And unfortunately, if you go to any township, there's somebody who's inspired by that Rosemary story?
I wanted to actually ask you that.
Instead of saying, I don't want
Yes.
to do that, there's someone who's sitting somewhere in a street corner. I need to find a job. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put people on a life cover and I'll start killing them.
So there's a reason why you find that there is the spiraling of syndicates.
I mean,
that exists in, we haven't even touched on other scams that exist, which is something that we still need to really look at. But just this particular topic itself, it is spiraled into business.
I mean,
syndicates.
Cindy, let's do this. In a township, you find a young guy knowing ubrasfiso, ohamba nge 325 IS, oispinayo, obamba ma-heist. Washona ubrasfiso, bamdubula, bambulala, amaphoyisa or whatever.
Yeah.
But you still find criminals on that system, still today, going through the very same thing that Brasfiso went through, knowing very well that either I'm going to go to jail or I will be killed or I'll survive. Either way, I don't know. They don't know. So now, when you find cases of your Rosemarys, to me and you, they'll be saying, hey, there's something wrong happening. To someone out there, it's an opportunity. Remember, what I don't see in me doesn't mean that someone else might not have it.
Fact.
And then now, end of the day, what happens is that you end up having people getting inspired by wrongdoings, wrong things. I mean, let's touch an issue that we shouldn't open the can of worms as a woman.
Sure.
There's women out there who believe they're feminism. They are higher than this, they are that. Isn't it? Do they understand the damage that they're doing?
Which is, you could, I'm
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm intrigued.
Because of the problem is that is what they say to men.
Okay.
You are a rubbish, you are a dog, you are this, you are that. It's a system. And when the wheel starts turning off that system, you cannot stop it. This Rosemary thing is not going to end today. We're not going to wake up and say it's gone. There's a case now, a new one. But that's a tip of an iceberg. Because of how many people are getting inspired by this. Hey, this lady made 6 million out of just a life cover. This made...
I'm told that these cases are very prevalent in the Eastern Cape.
You understand what I'm saying? So now, the problem is this. Why people would go play lotto? Because of they want to win. So if I cannot win lotto, what am I going to do? There's the easiest way. Let me pay this, let me do this.
And the system is allowing me to be able to do it and get away with it.
Exactly. So hence I'm saying we need to change.
Yes.
We need to get into a point whereby we change the narrative. To say you don't need to go to a psychiatric hospital. You're not sick. You're not crazy. You just have a headache. You don't need to do this. So people should get into a point where they've got information. They are informed of the decisions that are they taking. Is this the right decision or the wrong decision?
Just throwing it out there, when it comes to money, Papa, is the rationality I'm asking. It's an honest question. It is a really honest question. I'm just throwing it out there without judgment. I'm just asking.
No.
When it comes to money, is there a sense of rationality that goes into play?
Can I say this? Where there is money factor in anything in life, who thinks straight?
Yeah.
I mean, we're old enough. We know we've lived, we've done whatever that we've done, and we understand things that we understand. Families are breaking up because of money, piece of paper, nothing else. Kids are growing out without their fathers, their mothers, and whatsoever because of what? Piece of paper. So money controls.
Yeah.
it creates systems, it creates patterns. And now, here am I'm not informed well enough to understand that actually what I'm looking for, it's what's going to break me.
Sure.
I mean, you find it strange. You go to the most affluent estates that we have in South Africa. You find a lot of people divorcing there. You ask yourself, Amuna, you have this big house, you've got all these things, but why are you living? You're living for what? I need this, but you are running away from. You know, because of the system. Money is a system. It's a piece of paper. I mean, that creates a system. So the biggest challenge that we have as black people is that we need to have a point where the thing must stop. Say, let's stop encouraging our people to do wrong things.
Let's stop being manipulated. Let us stop being manipulated.
The very same industry of insurance,
Yeah.
it's owned by white people. Doing it for the marginalized people, isn't it? Who are the people that are in insurances?
It's us.
Are the very same ones that are marginalized, isn't it? Hence, people, they want to manipulate the system to benefit them.
Sure.
But now, we can change the system. We can sit down and say, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. Let's do this rather.
So, just to wrap up our conversation, you are playing a very instrumental role in terms of being able to use your expertise from an insurance perspective to better the lives of others.
Yes.
This is more on a positive note now, okay? And you've done that successfully because where you are, you've zoomed in terms of being able to look at these industries. One, that are over indebted. Number two, that do not understand risk. Number three, that needs to be insured.
Yes.
How has been your journey?
I mean, I've learned a lot of things out there. I've seen a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things people that are saying, more especially when it comes to insurance. I mean, I'll give you a simple example.
Yeah.
People take a truck driver and make him a trustee of a fund, and you expect
That administers billions of rands, by the way. Oh my
this
goodness.
guy must
That is a subject for another day.
he must understand what he's doing.
Oh my goodness.
And you sit there like, you interview this guy, like, you know what? I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
And he tells you that I am sitting on this fund.
You can't tell me what to do.
You cannot tell me
I'm
what
a
to
trustee.
do. I'm a trustee.
Oh, I've had
Like,
that. I've had that so many times, David.
So end of the day, you get to understand to say, oh, okay, you're a trustee. No, that's nice. But do you understand what you're trusting? People are trusting you with what? Their lives. Their monies. Where do they end up? He doesn't know anything. Yana is just happy to be called into a meeting to fly to Cape Town and drink a whiskey. He's never,
And an allowance.
he can never afford.
And an allowance.
And he comes back home.
Yeah, but
so there's a whole lot of things. There's a whole lot of things I've learned out there. I've seen people taking funeral policies.
Sure.
Just to say, you know what? Should he die, I'll make money out of. And I'm like, but why? Why are you doing that? Why are you putting yourself into pain for someone else's death? Why do you even think? I mean, I want to be alive tomorrow. I want to be alive next week. I want to be alive for 100 years to come.
Why do you think sin is worth yours in taking? Yeah?
Hence,
Sure.
when we need to talk about the society, that family, that life, that place where we should find ourselves as human beings, we should ask ourselves a simple question. What the mark am I living in this world?
Oh my goodness.
What is it that one day am I living in this world? I have, unfortunately, I'm not saying I'm privileged, but I have white people friends. Maybe they had cameras at the time when our parents didn't have cameras, that they couldn't take pictures. But there's a wall that when you go in there, you find pictures of, they will tell you this is what, 19 what. Like they'll go back, there's a generational thing that it's there. You come to us, marginalized and anything and everything.
We're broken.
Guess what? We don't even know where we come from and where we're going. That's what I've learned. That's what I've seen into people to say, where is he going?
So, in ending, you're an expert in what you do.
I love
and
what I
you're
do.
good at what you do.
I love what I do.
And you seem to be very passionate on what you do.
I love what I do.
Do you think there is space for black men, as intelligent as you are, to be able to rise above certain echelons in the insurance industry space, for you to be able to be the one that dictates the trajectory of the very same people that you are saying are being exploited?
I mean, Cindy, number one thing that I would say is that, yes, the point that you're making, that people to rise to whatever. Already we have people that are high up there in the corporate of insurance. If you check most of these black CEOs, Asipol is black. I mean, you go to Old Mutual, they're all up there.
But are they making a difference?
But the power, do they have the power to change the narrative?
That's exactly what I wanted to actually go to.
Do they have the power to change the narrative? I think no. I think they don't. Because we don't find your Rosemaries in white communities. You find Rosemaries in black communities. Why now we don't change the narrative? Why don't we get into a space and a point and say, hey, my community is dying here. I need to switch this plug off.
Isn't it? David, you know, when you are sitting there and you are Cindy and you are feeling yourself,
but
you tend to outgo certain things. I mean, it doesn't happen normally sometimes in society and business.
Cindy, the funny part is that noma ngahlala emafutheni anjani la mafutha engihleli kiwo.
Oh yeah.
What mafuta am I at if those mafuta I cannot take my son or anybody to them again?
Yay.
What type of mafuta are those?
And what are you deriving when, as well as an individual, if that is actually happening? So let's wrap up our discussion. The industry itself and the people that it says that it needs to give them a better life. Where is it going?
I mean, Cindy, the industry itself, it's a good industry to be in, number one. I will encourage a lot of young black men and women out there to look at it, not to look away from it. It might look like you need to sell something. Obviously, you will start there. You will start by understanding you need to sell. That's how any business is. I mean, we are having this mic today because somebody knew that I needed to create the mic so that I can go sell it. So here it is.
Yes.
It's money.
Yes,
so there is a lot of money in the industry. There's a lot of potential for people to understand and grow. And one more thing that I think there's a lot of education that we need to give to the marginalized black communities out there.
Sure.
I believe that if this podcast that we're doing right now, it can reach at least 100,000 people in a black community, then somebody would say, you know what, maybe we need to change that narrative.
Nah.
We need to go in a different fashion, in a different manner, and making sure that we do right. Because of the biggest challenge that we have is that we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. That's point number one. Number two, we're not even touching the surface of the thing. I mean, if you check the insurance on its own, insurance, it's the biggest industry that we have in this country. I mean, how big is Old Mutual?
Yes. And its contribution.
How big is
its
Sanlam?
contribution and the industry contribution to the economy itself? You know, it plays a very fundamental role.
I guess if I was the CEO of Old Mutual, I'll be invited in to come and open the parliament and have a prestigious seat when the parliament is getting open. I guess he was sitting at Union Building, you know. So you get to understand that the industry is very big.
And its influence, yes.
It's playing a very biggest role
yes.
in our lives. But remember now, people, how they look at it. They're thinking, I must sell. I started there. I started standing on a side of the street and selling a policy myself.
And look at you now. You own a business.
And
a thriving one in that matter.
But
you are your own driver, Baba, and you own your seat in the insurance industry. You've done pretty well for MEPT, eh?
Yeah. So, but now the issue is that those narratives, do they get to where they need to go? Do they get to where the people they need to understand to say, hey, listen, Cindy, she's from here, and she's been doing this, and she's been doing that, and then he ended up there. Go to any township today. You put a stand of tomatoes, you buy a bakkie to grow your business. In the same street where you had one stand of tomatoes, you'll find 10.
Yes.
Because of everybody thinking that if now I'm selling tomatoes, I'll be able to buy a bakkie. But do you understand what you're doing? Are you passionate enough with what you're doing?
That's a very good example.
You understand what I'm saying? So I would really love to find people that you can mentor, people that you can say, listen, you can do this. You can have life out of insurance business. You can grow. You can have a family. You can leave a legacy, by the way. You can do this. I mean, I believe that if we look at anybody, even any person that is a professional or not being a professional, they've got an insurance of some sort.
Yes.
I mean, even the hawker that sells on the street.
Yes, you're right. Eh?
If you go to them,
so it covers everybody across the spectrum. Actually, that's how value is derived from exactly. Yes.
They only cover a certain portion of the industry.
Yeah.
They're not caring about any. But now you go to the hawker, the guy who sells on a four-way street here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That guy's got a funeral plan.
Of course.
And he's paying it from where? The very same money that he's making it from there.
Exactly.
Hence, I kept on saying, this industry is good, but with it, it brings your rosemaries.
It's got your dark side. It's got your dark side. It's got your dark side. You're right.
Your rosemaries will always come on and off. And obviously, people, I mean, I wish INSETA could have a drive of teaching young black South Africans being in, not university, by the way, in high schools, to say, hey, listen, there's an industry called insurance. There's an industry like this. I mean, every person, even me sitting here, there's an insurance underwriter that has made money out of me today. Because of, guess what? They sold me a premium to say you'll pay R5.50 for a day, whatever in a month is accumulated, it's theirs, you are covered for that and whatever for that. So every person that walks in South Africa, they've made money out of you. Some of them that they make money out of them is those that are insured by your Rosemary's.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's an industry whereby I believe there should be more awareness about it, more education, and so that people don't fall into traps.
So, parting shot, MEPT, your company.
MEPT, it's my baby, not my baby alone, by the way. It's my family business, and it's a business that was started out of passion, love, joy, and anything else that would be. And we are passionate about it to make sure that we want to change lives. We believe that we should, change people's perspective about their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, making sure that our mothers that they didn't have, they can have it. Our kids or whoever, they would be able to have
it's
such things.
generational.
So we wanna help people to understand what is
Yes.
insurance. MEPT is not
Yes.
about selling a policy. MEPT is about building.
The tangibility aspect that comes into the fore of it.
Exactly.
Oh my God,
That's
the
what MEPT
passion,
is.
the passion that is there.
That's what MEPT is. MEPT is not something that you would find it leading people just because of I want to make runs and cents. I'd rather decline you, Cindy. I'd rather tell you, hey, you don't need this. You don't need this policy. Instead of you paying this 370 rand towards your grandfather and your whatever, that you're gonna benefit, you're not bearing that grandfather. Take a life cover with it.
Yeah.
Of your own.
Yeah.
Add your kids as your beneficiaries. That's the education that MEPT is giving out there.
David, Tapelo,
Yes, ma'am.
Mamezi, I wish to thank you. I think first and foremost, it was a privilege. I am so honored that we're able to actually sit down with you and really talk to you and unpack this world. I think we just touched the surface, isn't it?
I think we should do another topic another day.
I agree.
And we
I think
continue with this.
we've just touched the surface of what's happening.
Yeah.
But at the heart of it all, thank you for your time. Thank you for bringing awareness on this issue. I think people saw this issue, as we had alluded to, of your funeral claims and the fraud that comes to it at face value. But deeper into it, it's a societal issue.
Yes.
And for that, thank you for being able to unpack it in a manner that everybody, I think, in this country resonates with, but could not find an answer. The fact that you came forth and be able to actually open up and make us realize that our journey is our collective journey. It's not an individual journey. Business will always be there, but people matter. So we would like to thank you. And next time, Baba, let's go on another journey. Let's go on another journey. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you very much.
I hope
for inviting
everybody
us.
that is watching this podcast has found it insightful. Please share, click, like, subscribe. We really need to talk about these issues. You know, when you are sitting down and being able to look at things that are happening that have got an effect on marginalized communities and the industries thereof, we would find that there's a lot that is happening in this world and that needs awareness. So here's your home. A home where we can talk. A home where we can introspect. A home where we can be able to agree and disagree on issues. But most of it all, you matter. Thank you for watching this episode.